Scarlet Knights fan. So look, what an epic victory. I had predicted prior to the game it would be something like a 24-17 type victory. Wound up kind of close to that at the end of the day. But it's crazy because I got up at 5 in the morning, picked up my boy from Jersey City, went down to the tailgate, helped set it up, had a great tailgate all day, even though it was pouring on us, but we had tents out there. The rain wasn't too bad during the day. Have a cigar, chill out, whatever. Go into the game. Got a poncho on, and a special RU poncho, Scarlet, and everything like that. You can tell I'm losing my voice because I was loud early on. Looks like we can go toe-to-toe. They come right down and score. Our defense is on their heels a little bit, but let's face it, they were on a bye. And by the way, that's the second team we had to play coming off a bye in a row, but whatever. We go right back down the field. We get the field goal. We don't get the touchdown. So we did look like we could move the ball, but we didn't get the touchdown. Looks like we can go toe-to-toe. We're kind of going back and forth a little at 7-6, and then all of a sudden, we have the muff punt. And, Rashad Rochelle, if we're not going to actually try to return it, then we might as well keep Dremel back there because we need somebody reliable to catch and field the punts. If you're worried about the return game, that's one thing, but we're not really returning the punts anyway, so you might as well just have a guy like Dremel back there. The muff punt killed us, and that was one of many things that killed us. The targeting call on Tyreen Powell, and I was at the game, the targeting call on Tyreen Powell, it wasn't even like a flag came out or there was some hesitancy. It was a turnover on downs. All of a sudden there's some kind of media timeout or whatever it was, and all of a sudden the Michigan State offense is back on the field. There was a blatant offensive pass interference, I believe, in the end of the second quarter. There was a lot of missed calls. Then there was a pass interference on us that wasn't. The one time we had the pick and they called the offsides, the encroachment, that was real. We were offsides. But I got to be honest here. I can say it because Shiano can't. It seems like the Big Ten's just blatantly cheating at this point. The refs were just blatantly cheating. Couple that with the bye weeks. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm sick of it. We bring this conference a bunch of TV dollars. We're a formidable team in most sports. Football is climbing. And it seems like it felt like, why am I even here? Because this is blatant cheating. Even people that don't complain about the refs normally were complaining because it was hard not to say anything. But anyway, forget about that. So, we're going through it and we're dealing with this, and the game is not going so well. I will say Gavin Wimsatt I know his stat line didn't look amazing, but the kid is growing. I mean, he had two absolutely beautiful throws toward the sideline early in the game. And then he had the touchdown, dime towards the end of the game, at the end of the game. And then the 2-point conversion, which we really needed at the time. So he did his job. Kyle Monunga, I can't say enough. How about Sutton, going out with a little bit of a limp at one point, then coming back in. A guy who some people said they don't think he'll ever be a starter again. They don't think he'll ever be an actual role player on the team again because of the catastrophic nature of his injury. And now he's out there getting meaningful minutes, and it's making a difference with us. That's just huge. That's huge. But Kyle, too, great game. Dremel, just the kid's a hard worker, and look what he does. I mean, he's a good receiver in the Big Ten. Defense came out to play, man. I mean, they had a couple drives, especially that opening drive of the third quarter where they were just on their heels and Michigan State did what they wanted to do. Max Melton had the sack, did that, but, he had a couple plays that were questionable again, but the defense came through when the defense needed to come through, and that was huge. They also came through earlier in the game with the turnovers and the stops. It was just we had to mess up on special teams. Our offense had some trouble, et cetera, et cetera. But it was funny because, truth be told, man, I'm one of those fans that stays there through the whole game, rain or shine, bad or good, whatever. But this game, it was pouring on us. The refs were doing what they were doing. And I went up at halftime. I went to the bathroom real quick, came out, and I went right back down to my seat, getting rained on. My girlfriend's there getting rained on. We're getting poured on, and my buddy's socks are soaking wet. And we're watching the game, and I'm like, I'm going to hang in. And even if Michigan State kicks a field goal, even though we didn't do anything, we drove it a little bit the first drive, and then we didn't do anything. Michigan State comes back down. They score a touchdown. And we were like, look, we got it. We got to hit the road. Everybody was gone. I get in the car after walking to my car in the blue lot. We put the radio on, and now we stayed a good portion of the third quarter. I didn't leave till really the end of the third. We turn the radio on, and you hear, the penalty on the punt. And we're sitting there like, oh, why is Schiano going to bother to accept that penalty? It was a short punt anyway, take the field position. Sure enough, talk about chopping. He wasn't going to let one play go to waste. He wasn't going to let a play go to waste that his kids could have an opportunity on. And that's where those coaches and those players are levels above us fans sometimes, because they have that mentality that even when somebody who's there, usually for every game, was like, I can't anymore, they make something happen. And I'm driving up the turnpike in crazy rain, and we're listening to the radio, and every time we turn around, there's like a huge play, because then you have the kick. And I mean, that's just beautiful. And it was funny because I couldn't stand when Schiano tried to kick the long field goal but didn't let Patel kick it. It's like, the kid's been pretty good. I know he hasn't been perfect, but he hit 2 already. If you don't trust him to kick the long field goal, don't kick the field goal. I was beside myself with some of the coaching decisions before, but hey, that's why I say Monday morning quarterback, and that's why I don't have the job, and he does. Kicking the sky kick at that time when Michigan State was expecting an onside kick was absolutely genius. That is the Rutgers special teams of old right there. And it worked perfectly. Gives us the ball in great field position, and then Gavin and the guys, we execute. And then when we need first downs, well, first of all, when we needed a touchdown, Kyle Monungai and that offensive line put the team on their back. Kyle Monunga and that offensive line and it's funny because we've seen them do that against teams that are not in the Big Ten or against Northwestern. And finally, even Schiano said it, like I said last week, not yet. I didn't want to have to come out this week and say it again, but finally they turned that corner where they brought that game that they were bringing to other opponents to the Big Ten opponent and made it happen on the ground. Kyle, just a great game. Offensive line, great game. And made it happen. And then the defense does what it has to do and has a defensive stand, and the defense was pumped up. We get the ball back. We do what we have to do again, the offensive line and Kyle, and we get the first downs to be able to run the clock out. Just great stuff all around with that. So at the end of the day, man, amazing day to be a Knights fan, even though we're out in the rain. Even though I feel like a clown because I left a little early, and a lot of people did because it was almost totally empty by then. But the team kept chopping. The team did what they had to do. And look, this puts us in position for a bowl game. We got to take care of business next week. We got to take care of business. One more win, and no team is a guaranteed victory. Take care of business, and the program's moving forward. But it feels good to see the program moving forward. I believe in the kids that are developing. I believe in what we're seeing, even though it looked like it wasn't going to happen today. The quarterback, the O-line, the receivers, the defense, the pipeline, like Greg always talks about, that pipeline. We're seeing it finally get full, and it's still got a ways to go, and it's not perfect, but they followed through at the end, and we have something to look forward to, which was what we wanted. Game, I didn't go the way I thought it would, but the score kind of was what I thought it was. Once they got after the quarterback a little bit, they made him make some questionable throws, maybe, not connect on everything. Once I thought we could run on them, I thought we could get something going on their defensive line, even though they're big and they're tough and they're one of the better defensive lines in football. I thought we could do it. We eventually did. So at the end of the day, it's what I expected. It's not the way the game went that I expected at all. But we'll take it. We'll take the W, man. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Takes a second. We got to get to 400. I know we're a while away, but let's do it. I got basketball coverage for you, too. I'm a loyal son, and I'm out here reporting on Rutgers. Also got some big news coming for you soon involving me and Rutgers content. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Shouts to everybody I talked to at the game today. And I'll talk to you guys all soon. I'll touch base soon. Sorry for the sirens. I'll touch base soon this week. But enjoy your victory Saturday night. It's so much better Saturday night when we get a victory like that, especially when it's an early game and you got the whole night to chill and just enjoy it. So enjoy it, and I'll talk to you soon. Go Knights.